JumboBlockchain.
Gentlemen, a very wonderful, blissful evening of today mega event, that is JumboBlockchain. And it's a privileged moment for me to be here with the founder of the blockchain. I really congratulate Mr. Sachin and Mr. Dhanraj for being here, and I should say it's one of the India blockchain which is going to get established and empowering the youth also, empowering India. विश्व गुरु बनना अब बहुत दूर नहीं है. जैसे सर ने बताया, डॉक्टर सत्या ने बोला कल्प वृक्ष का जो कॉन्सेप्ट दिया, तो सच में हम उसी पे चल रहे हैं. हम बन चुके हैं, अंदर से हम बन चुके हैं. सचिन और धनराज जैसे अगर विशनरी हम लोग के साथ हैं, ये पायनियर्स, इफ दे आर गोइंग टू लीड अस with such wonderful technocrats, digital technocrats all present here, I think we have done it 70%, 30% more to bring it on the platform. So starting with the rapid fire round, the questions around, I would just request our pioneers to please answer them, because there are a lot of queries. When koi naya project aata hai, to but natural si baat hai, we have a lot of queries in our mind. So let's talk to the visionaries. So my first question is, can you walk us through the core principles and the vision that guided the development of Jumbo blockchain? And how do these principles differentiate Jumbo from other blockchain?
Entire ecosystem. When we talk about the ecosystem, is where we include the government, enterprise, and on the top of that is the people. So first is, the challenges you are seeing right here, right? I am struggling with the mic,
Yes.
but that is one of the vision, very simple vision in life. The people first, and then it goes to the government, and then it goes to the industry. Whole cycle. That is the thing which is our vision. Not in India, across the globe.
So our Indian is going to establish a mega blockbuster chain, and India can do it. Vaccine war एक मूवी थी जिसपे कि कोरोना में हम लोगों ने वैक्सीन पे we succeeded. Our country succeeded, provide a vaccine all over the globe. Same way, now this mega blockbuster chain is going to, I think, empower India around the globe. Thank you, Sachin. My next query is, Jumbo blockchain introduces the novel proof of nexus consensus mechanism. Could you explain in layman terms, how the proof of nexus works and what advantages it offers over traditional mechanism like proof of work or proof of stake?
Shubh Sandhya and good evening to everyone. Nexus basically has known for a negative negative word. It has been used widely as a negative word. But think of a group or a community where we contribute and support. Like Lord Krishna has lifted the whole Govardhan Parvat with the help of people. So this thought of designing a proof of nexus comes from that with the people's support. Here, the people or assets are basically the computational power, what you are carrying as, we just discussed, like what if my system is ideal for 6 hours or 2 hours when I'm sleeping, that can be utilized for processing certain things which can benefit back to the community. So this proof of nexus is designed in that concept by utilizing the free resources and power of computational systems which we carry across the world. And our, my envision is next to utilize the mobile processing power which we don't use at the night time or in our free time. That can be utilized for validating a node or processing a transaction. So that's a main reason or thought process behind the proof of nexus. How it can be benefit or how it is more efficient compared to other existing blockchain consensus is proof of work, basically completely based on power consumption, which is the CPU power, right? And that consumes a lot of energy, so it's not that sustainable. This will utilize the shared processing power of all the devices across the network, and that's how it is more sustainable compared to others. And there are other sustainability factors like governance and environmental factors which we have calculated to build the consensus. Those are basically the 4 key parameters when any block is being mined and validated by the validators. So there are a lot of innovations. We already have described them in our patents, and yeah, that's the key thing in proof of nexus.
So thank you, Raj. Wonderful concept that you gave behind. So you are going to empower by saving power and making us more powerful. So thank you so much. My next query is security and integrity are paramount in blockchain. What innovative security measures, which are very important these days, have been integrated into JumboBlockchain to ensure the safety and integrity of transaction?
Sure. So security is one of an aspect, and it is the blockchain has the trilemma issues since the innovation in Bitcoin blockchain. Bitcoin is one of the first blockchain itself. How we can ensure all these 3 things, the power consumption, security, all these things can be fitted into one solution. We have designed the consensus in multiple layers. So it's not only at a one layer, but it is at multiple layer. Encrypted data is being shared across the network. We are not losing the decentralization over here, but while encrypting the data, we are making sure only the relevant hashtag is going to be shared across the network. So I have the hash, yes, I have the information which I can get it from the source. So only, so here we are saving the memory as well, and that also one of a factor, because building a silicon chip requires a lot of water and power, right? So there we are saving the memory, which will allowing us to do a fastest transaction, as well as storage. The storage requirement is less, hence the energy consumptions will be less. And it also gives me 3 layers of security. First layer of encryption at the block level, second layer of encryption at the transaction, and transactions are shared across the network in only hash form, not the whole data. So the 3 layers of security is more than sufficient enough for Jumbo Chain to improve the security and achieve the fastest transaction at the same time.
Okay. So wonderful ecosystem you are going to generate.
Okay. For traceability, sorry. Okay.
Tracking their
to trace, we have the hash, okay, and the whole blockchain ecosystem currently, even though if you take an example of Ethereum or Bitcoin or Binance, what you need a transaction hash. Based on a transaction hash, you get the previous block, the transaction information, along with that, which block this transaction belongs to, and what is its previous transaction information. So as we have seen the supply chain management solution, there are certain events are being followed in complete supply chain management. I'm giving the same example. So one event is triggering the another event. Once I receive the goods at my warehouse, it has to be stored. So once the storage is done, it has to trigger the next. And the blockchain is also storing those information. But it's not storing the information, what type of material it is, and it is not shared across the nodes. It is shared with particular node who is validating the transactions. And that's how we are, giving a traceability in Jumbo Chain.
Okay. So my next query around is that what strategies are you employing to foster a robust B2B and B2C community around Jumbo Blockchain? And how do you plan to attract developers and business to your platform?
Okay, so B2B, we have multiple use cases as you see, already seen, and these are few of them are already working specifically in the education system, which is really required. Let's come to the B2C. What B2C is looking at? As an individual, what I'm looking at today, if I go to the market buying something, do I know that this is original or duplicate? That is the B2C. The first thing, I'm paying for that, and then I'm taking the risk for my health. If I'm solving that problem as an organization or as an enterprise, if we are able to solve this problem, then we are into the B2C directly or indirectly. That's the second thing. Third important aspect, the kind of structure which we have created, or the architecture which we have created for this blockchain. We are expecting that over a period of time, almost the people who know and who want to get into that, they can run the validator nodes on their mobile network. That vision was taken by somebody else, but not able to achieve it, but we have achieved it. So these are the two things. That the third thing which comes into the play. Let me ask a question to you. When you were like 8 to 10 years old, do you know what kind of performance you had in your school, or what kind of activity you had there, or what kind of injury you had there?
No, not at all. It was recorded anywhere.
That is something which can be achievable by this. And this is one of my big vision. Vaibhav knows that very well. The human life cycle management, the day a child born till the day the death certificate is signed. Every activity can be recorded in a secured form on the blockchain itself and shareable wherever it is necessary. You know, I have a 2.5-year-old daughter. There is no record of her health situation in last 2.5 years.
Yes, exactly.
And if I switch from this country to another country, or this city to another city, none of the doctor will know that. I cannot carry that much of paper at all. But what I can carry a mobile. If that record is available in that mobile, that is the value creator, and over a period of time, maybe in next 10 years, but we'll do it. You already see that there are use cases which can start from the pre-nursery school, one of the first use cases which we have showcased. The second use case is for their journey when they start working with the organization and make immutable. The third can be health. You go to the doctor, same application, same way, immutable record, and that will come to you. That is the value we want to create, and we want to create not only for India, across the globe. Either it's a developed country, developing country, or poor country like Bangladesh, Pakistan, or any other poor country. You can name it in Africa, anywhere in the world. We need to make it so sure the value which has been created by this over a period of time is tremendous.
Very nice, Sachin. I think हमारे Honorable Prime Minister जी का जो vision है, you are really carrying that vision around and you are really working very nicely, क्योंकि हर parents I think वो चाहते हैं कि हमारे बच्चों के छोटे से छोटे जो भी developments हैं उनको हम record कर सकें और उसको सेव करके मेमोरीज के फॉर्म में उसको बैठ के देख सके व्हेन द चाइल्ड ग्रोज, और वो जब अपने नर्सरी का सर्टिफिकेट देखता है या जो भी उसने एक कंपटीशन में अचीव किया होता है, चाहे वो स्पोर्ट्स का हो चाहे वो एजुकेशन में हो, तो एक बहुत ही एक लैंडमार्क अचीवमेंट होता है, क्योंकि बच्चे का परवरिश पेरेंट्स के लिए उतना जितना इम्पॉर्टेंट होता है उतना ही मुझे लगता है उसका एजुकेशनल ग्रोथ भी उनके स्टेप बाय स्टेप का बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट. आई थिंक एंड दिस इज अ वंडरफुल initiative that you are going to carry, and hats off to you.
So Prime Minister, he has already achieved certain thing for us. I just want to add on to that, create a almost 5 trillion economy across the globe from the blockchain technology. That is the new market which we want to open.
Sure, nice concept. So looking ahead, what future innovations can we further expect from blockchain? And are there any upcoming projects for collaborations specifically that you are particularly excited about?
It's just a journey which we have started, just started. You know, I really do not know where it is going to end. how it is going to end, or is there any end? Is there any end exist? I really do not know. See, I see that possibility to put this solution across the departments, across the sectors. It's a sector agnostic solution, right? Let me give you an example. See, we give the contract for the roads. There is no way you can monitor it properly. The only way by using this technology, self-executable smart contract, which is the agreement written in the papers right now by the different department across the globe. Okay, another thing, like transacting from one country to another country is a time-consuming activity. Something which can be done in the fraction of seconds should not take 3 days. So there are plenty of scope for innovation in that direction. One of the vision Mr. Dhanraj is looking at is the put validator nodes in the lower orbit, satellite lower orbit, where you do not need, there is no impact on the environment at all, because that is beyond that limit. And the entire source of energy comes from what? Solar. Simple. That nothing, it's not a cost at all. It's zero, free, right? Now, I think one of the vision Mr. Satya has said that how we can make it like 2 paisa. I think that is one of the solution where we are working together. We want to achieve it. The another vision is we are looking at the quantum. Quantum is coming tomorrow. How we can create value with the quantum. How can we put our things like ready when the quantum is adopted by the market across the globe. And that is one of the vision Dhanraj sir has already taken to put a quantum enabled virtual machine. There is one, let me give you another example. There is another company who is working to put the data centers inside the sea, where you will find bandwidth super high, and those data center will be running with the waves of the sea. Again, natural resources, no cost. So these are the innovation which are already going on, and we are working in that direction, and we want to work. We want to achieve something which has not been achieved so far.
So very enlightening insights, yeah.
I would add 1 or 2 more points probably, like when Sachin sir mentioned about the nodes and space. There are a lot of transactions what we require to collect the space data or the research data, right? That take a huge amount of time, even though the Earth, like, okay, and this is the Earth, right? And then one satellite is at this point, second satellite is this point. All 2 satellites needs a communication at the same time, right? That is not possible unless and until the third intermediary satellite comes into the picture. So actually, that comes from my, my daughter has submitted one of a space design, and they require an immediate communication between these 2. So we have written a linked list based communication. Okay, sorry, it's going to be a bit technical, but sorry. So we have established that communication with friction of seconds, right? So even though the satellite are the 2 opposite direction of Earth, they communicate instantly. That is one of our innovation. And when it comes to the data storage, I don't think we require any data storage in future. Or we don't require any silicon chip to store any data in future, because our okay, that's another okay, that's another one of an innovation, because we can store the data in DNA as well. So that's probably gonna be a next thing which we can integrate in blockchain as well.
Basically, we have a 2-decade plan in place. So we will achieve it.
So innovative concepts you have, and I think in nanoseconds you are going to achieve the thing for the mankind, and with less resources, I think so. So finally, it's time for what advice would you like to suggest?
Okay, advice. There is only simple advice from my side. Where is my guy? Kanishk? This is the advice I want to give all the young generation. Be innovative, think in a different direction. Make sure, keep, keep trust in your vision, what you can achieve. And this is one of the example who came to me when almost for 8 months, everybody was rejecting his idea. The only thing which we did is just added certain things in that. I think he is happy. He is working for almost 18 hours in a day in last couple of weeks. 18 hours in a day. It's a big number.
So I think a big round of applause is needed. Empowering
this is the
youth.
future. This is the future, and that's what I
Yes.
said. There are two parts of that. When we started this ceremony, there are two parts, right? One who grow us, and they have taken so much of pain in growing us because the resources were not available. But at the same time, we have responsibility to grow others who are like my daughter, this guy, or any other guy. There are few more who are still working and looking at each other. They are not even in the picture. They do not want to be in the picture because they know what kind of value they are creating. So this is how it is basically. So we need to create a value for the coming generation which is coming out.
Which is very important. Skillful India, I think Y20, G20, whatever concepts the government has put, and I think you're working on that, because trusting on youth is very important, because it's the youth who is going to lead us now, and they are going to help us, and it's the entire team. So once again, I congratulate Sachin and Dhanrajji for the wonderful vision ahead, and I think I would like to request all our audience, if any query from anyone would like to, yes, sir, please come forward.
Yeah, the major problem with any technology is the human intervention. Same with the blockchain. How you are making sure that no human is entering the data, because if I am entering the data at the end, I can do the corruption. It's like one of the examples I give you with the pharmacy that I was talking, that if a pharmacy person is entering a data, what is the temperature of a medicine, he will always enter wrong data. Why will he say that this medicine expired or not as per the temperature?
Let me give you a simple use case. Okay, we have given a solution to one of the Nasdaq listed company where they have a business model. They distribute certain item to the rural people, poor people, and they do not have any data around it. It is based on the survey. They distribute around 200,000 devices per year, and data is based on the 2% survey. We put IoT devices on the top of that, which is communicating to the blockchain, emitting the data, and the data anybody can verify at any point of time. You need to think from the different perspective, right? You need to think so somebody comes with the problem, you need to identify what can be the best solution. We are converting the 2% survey data to the 100% authentic data, and which create value for whom? To everyone, to the individual, to the organization, and to the people the data is submitted, like government.
Yeah, very correct. And if I think you people are going to be as raw agents also monetizing and seeing everything. So once again, any other queries from anyone? So, yes, sir.
Recently, there was a aggregating agency. We are always very keen to find out all the details of a particular transaction from the source to the destination. However, Binance was not able to provide us information for obtain number of transactions. Eventually, the information came, but it was too late. It came almost 6 months after our request. What the government requires is, what any agency requires is a single window system. I hope your JumboBlockchain has this, where the entire TIQ, that is transaction in question, can be traced in a very short time. That is from the source to the destination. This is an essential requirement for any government organization.
Sure.
See, we have also implemented one solution in Delhi Police, the blockchain solution, but that is a separate concept altogether. But this is one critical requirement for us.
Sure. So, sir, your question is very valid. So we need to think from the different perspective. Okay, what kind of traceability is required? If data is required like fraction of seconds, that is something doable. If somebody is not providing the data which is based on the blockchain, then it means they have their own intention.
Binance is not under our control. But as you are based in India, you're launching a blockchain in India, obviously.
We'll give you a soft node, run it.
Not the problem.
Have entire data.
We need a single window system. That is, for every transaction, we have to approach you only, and then subsequently you have to give us the.
You don't need to approach us. You just run one soft node, one node. We'll give you the entire data as a government agency.
That doesn't work. That doesn't work because you will then be cited as a witness in our investigations.
That's fine. We need to grow this country where we are surrounded by the enemies.
That is a separate concept altogether. So that is the requirement which we are focusing on.
Okay, when it comes to the individual's transaction, that is completely traceable. If it is come to the smart contract, it is completely traceable. Traceability is not the issue in blockchain as technology at all. The only thing is like what kind of requirements are there. If I'm giving something out, then there is a security, okay, and why I'm giving it. So there should be a very clear-cut direction from there. And that's why the policy has to be there in place, right? Until and unless the policy is not there, nobody is going. Okay, let me give you the GDPR. GDPR is a very strict rules and regulations for individual data. But when it comes to the government organization and asking them, they have to provide it. So rules and regulations has to be in place for the blockchain itself. I am not holding data as an individual. The data is held by the thousands of validator nodes which are across the globe. So I don't think there is any challenge in providing the data, specifically when it comes to the security of any individual country or any process. If it is a security issue, I will not see any threat to providing the data at all. But the proper evidence has to be there so that I can provide the data, because the data is completely distributed.
आई थिंक उम्मीदें बहुत जग गई हैं अब सभी जनता की आपसे सचिन बाय स्टार्टिंग दिस मेगा ब्लॉकचेन स्ट्रक्चर सो आई थिंक अब बहुत सारे MOUs भी आपके साथ हो सकता है विद सर्टेन टर्म्स एंड कंडीशंस लोग आएंगे फॉरवर्ड और साइन करेंगे जैसे सर ने बोला लाइक देयर एजेंसी वांट्स टू रीड सो वंस अगेन कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशन टू यू गाइस यू रियली आर वर्किंग वेरी हार्ड एंड आई विश यू गुड लक माई बेस्ट विशेज आर देयर एंड वन थिंग आई वुड लाइक टू से फॉर सचिन पर्सनली मुझे लगता है एक जो बहुत फेमस कोट है खुद ही को कर बुलंद इतना कि हर तकदीर से पहले खुदा बंदे से ये पूछे बता तेरी रज़ा क्या है एंड
थैंक यू
सो वंस अगेन
बिफोर वी एंड दिस conversation and start moving into the next direction, I just want to give one use cases, sir. Just specifically, judiciary. Why we are impacted so much in number of cases? You know, the different department coordination, data sharing is a time-consuming activity. If we put that solution on a very trusted network and share the data immediately with every individual who are involved in the process, I think our 90% cases which are pending in our Supreme Court, High Court and the lower court of this India will be go away. That's one thing, not only one thing. The kind of paper wastage and impact to the environment that entire judiciary is in India. I'm saying the bigger word, but it can create problem to me tomorrow, but not today. If we can convert those paperwork, you go to any judiciary, any court, any department, I do not know how many pages are there, and they do not have any record of that. Actually, अगर उनसे एक फाइल निकलवाने के लिए पहुंच जाए ना, हो सकता है 6 महीने लग जाए, मिले ही ना. So these are the things which we want to create. We want to create value for future, not for today. And ये जो cases का है ना, the tempered and other thing, those can be reduced immediately. जज का सबसे ज़्यादा टाइम जाता है 400 पेज की चार्जशीट या 4000 पेज की, और 2-4 हज़ार करोड़ का स्कैम हो तो वो हो सकता है 50,000 भी हो जाए.
Sir, we are already online. Entire investigation and the judicial process is now online.
Not authenticated, sir. Tampered हो सकती है वो.
Now the fact is that it is on NIC servers, and the NIC servers are supposed to keep the system secure. The entire data is encrypted. So far, it has been functional for the past 5 years or so, and not a single case of tampering has ever come to record. But the problem here is not this. The problem is that when the charge sheet is filed, then the judicial process starts. The charge sheet itself is 1500 pages.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Now somebody has
So
to
it should
read.
be a combination of the blockchain and the artificial intelligence to highlight the data.
Now somebody has to read 1500 pages to come to a decision. That is the challenge.
सर एक एप्लीकेशन बना के दे दूं सारे डिपार्टमेंट के लिए अच्छा रहेगा.
So I
Single application, blockchain based entering, data entered become immutable, artificial intelligence to read and show the highlight of that charge sheet.
So I'll tell you what recently happened. It's a very interesting example with our blockchain experiment. See, we have a problem where our forensic reports were getting delayed. And because of the fact that the forensic reports were getting delayed, we came up with the idea that this should be on a blockchain where the report is coming from, that should be hidden. Because it can be done, a separate number was generated. However, when we implemented the system, we suddenly realized that it can't work. It can't work simply because of the fact that when the forensic report is actually finalized, the forensic lab has to actually talk to the investigating officer to understand the facts of the case.
Sir, there are
Then only he will be able to understand what is actually to be searched.
Okay.
In a particular sample or whatever.
Let me ask you.
This subjectivity was something which actually defeated the purpose. However, the fact that we are now monitoring that इसका delay हो रहा है, कौन नहीं आ रहा है, कौन late हो रहा है, वो सब तो हो रहा है. But जो purpose जिसका था कि भाई हम इस chain को, इस nexus को break कर देंगे, वो हम नहीं कर पाए.
Sir, उसका तरीका है ना, zero knowledge proof is one of the concept basically. We do not need to talk to each other. We can put our questions and everything in a single format. There is a possibility if we'll do the brainstorming, we can build a case around it. That is possible.
Can I
NIC has done it for us, and we tried our level best. We worked for 1 year. This subjectivity we were not able to break because of the way the investigations are being done.
And then I think
it is being done all over the globe like this only.
then give us a chance. Let me build an architecture for you.
इस पीड़ा को आपको दूर करना पड़ेगा. I think we have.
That's our responsibility as an
Yes.
individual, as an organization, to
Sure.
build the use cases which is not there or not able to provide the value which they has to be. That's why we are here. Let's build the architecture together.
So yes, sir. We have one more query.
Good evening. Hi, Sachin.
Hi, Aditya.
Mr. Dhanraj. I mean, excellent, I think, overview, and it's really heartening to see, I think some of the things that you mentioned, sustainability was one major issue. So, I think initially, this was brought out. See, essentially, it's an information system, right? So, it was heartening to see when, the blockchain got covered. So, there was emphasis on data privacy. So, obviously, someone is looking at, the ISO maybe 27001. Now DPTP has come in, so you've got 27701. There is also a requirement for, I would say, VAPT of any IT system which happens. This would be a very fairly elaborate implementation, right? One aspect would also be the SLAs of the system, which again had been brought out. A third aspect would be the business continuity planning for a system like this, because the journey, as you said, the journey has begun, but along with the trust, the reliability would become a very important factor. While encryption is there, you'll agree, malware and information leakage and data breach is a slightly different concept. I'd love to hear your views on this.
So, I really do not know from where I need to start about this. There are two factors which we can talk. you know, data privacy is important aspect. This is very difficult question to answer. I think Dhanraj, you need to take and then I add on to it. Let me process the entire question.
There are basically three aspects of this complete scenario, right? One is you need a predefined compliances, right? Unless until you adhere to those compliances, you cannot follow or start a process. Once you start a process, that it comes with the data, where you need to store the data, how you need to process the data, what type of information needs to be shared, what type of information need not to be shared, those comes into the picture. Those data you can store into the blockchain. And third comes with whether all the participants, right, in this whole process requires the trust to each of the data. Or like, let's say I am submitting the data, like, okay, I am 100% compliance, right? Who all have been providing, or who all the participants are providing the 100% secure, accurate data. These three processes we add together. So it's not only blockchain. Okay, blockchain is not a magic tool which can solve any problem. It has to be event managed, AI driven processing and blockchain to solve the problem.
So you need to say that every blockchain company has to comply with ISO 23635-2022?
I think it is already there. Means it is not required. See, those are the obsolete processes now. If it comes to the blockchain as technology, those are the obsolete processes. You know, the processes, why these were required? Because nobody was trusting when you are providing the record, which is you can tamper, right? What is the audit do? You say that my ESG score is 90. Prove it. Okay, these are the paper, check it. This is the procedure, right? Who is going to check? The third party. Now, I have all the possibility, being in this country or across the country, to manipulate the third party. Money is the most powerful weapon in the world, right? But third party do the validation, calculate the score and give the report, and that goes public. Here in blockchain, there is no auditing required because it is already done by the multiple people. Or those are the different people. They don't know even each other. So look at this. Whose audit you will verify? You will agree that the people who has audited for a particular transaction across the globe, or an individual organization who just did the validity for a particular record which has been provided. And this is how the blockchain is going to, so blockchain doesn't require any ISO certification at all.
So does your customer does not wanted to know that on which compliance are you being certified on?
See, I showcase one thing to you maybe in a week time. My daughter, she started going to school in January. And she got her first certificate. That will last over a period of time. I'm going to put that entire data on blockchain and showcase to her principal, and then ask to provide the entire data to me and put for every child data, give access individually to them, record it to them and to the school. That's it. Validated data. Now that information is permanent. So do I need to, because it is not verified by me only. School verified it, then the thousands of people across the globe who are there in the network verified that information, and then the data become permanent. Now what kind of validation, extra validation it is required? I don't think so anything else is required. See,
Yes, so I'll come to that. So what you're saying is correct. See, when we talk about information security, it's a triad. It's called a CIA triad. There is confidentiality, there is integrity, and there is availability. While maybe the integrity part, the immutability, the transparency is well taken care of by the technology, which is essentially the blockchain technology. But if you look at the full system, the confidentiality of the information and the availability of the information is certain things which, say, ISO 27001 would emphasize upon. Like I said, it's a system. And as I think somebody had initially also rightly brought out, the SLAs and the availability. So that would obviously translate maybe into architecture. High availability of your servers, your nodes, data backup. I think we are talking about those systems. So maybe in that context, maybe ISO's standards would definitely be valid.
Okay, so in our case, we have changed that entire concept. The data availability is completely, give me a moment, I'll lose my thoughts, sir. So data availability will be permanent because we have made this system is a decentralization of decentralization. None of the validator node is keeping the 100% data. And data is accessed from anywhere, wherever it is available in the network in the fraction of seconds. You must have heard about the concept of hub and spoke model, right? So hub is which sends information, receive information. And that is how it works. So every data fetching will be happening in that way. Every data distribution will be happening. So it will be like done in the fraction of a second. Data integrity will be always there because it is a decentralization of decentralization. In our case, none of the validator node is having the 100% transactional data. They are just having the data with the block they are validating, transactional data they are having. Apart from any other block which they are not validating, will have the hashes only. So data is also intact. Nobody can tamper it. Nobody can touch it. Nobody can misutilize it. Because until and unless you do not have the 100% data available with you, you cannot misutilize it. So integrity comes from there.
So I think Sachin and Dhanraj, yes, sir.
What he's saying is something else. He's saying that as a customer, now I want to be ensured that your blockchain solution is reliable. For that, ISO 27001 is there.
Sir, that will be the obsolete.
They are talking about the certification part that they want to have some.
I agree that
Which is your 23635, right? Which is about distributed ledger technology. So whatever you mentioned, I'm totally agreeing with that. Sustainability, right? Lower power consumption. We're talking about standards because obviously today everyone, the prime thing is from proof of work, we want to change over to proof of stake. Well understood. It is still an information system. Information system has to be secured, for which you need a robust architecture, you need high availability, you will need a business continuity plan. SLAs can only get defined when you look at it as a whole system. So while I totally agree with the technology that you're talking about, but when we look at it as a whole system, ISO standards would 100% be valid. Just a small submission. Because we are doing ISO audits for blockchain companies.
Perfect. Then maybe we can talk about it in a couple of weeks. And then we'll see exactly where everything fits in.
Yeah, I think you should look after the suggestions. They have given wonderful suggestions.
Happily happy.
Yeah. And we should work so that,
Aditya know my response, how quick it is.
क्योंकि अगर जनता satisfied है तभी हम लोग भी satisfied हैं. I think the founders are also satisfied.
There is an example he has already seen in the daytime today.
Good. So I think we should end up this session. So thank you for the wonderful audience here, and thank you Sachin and Dhanraj for giving each and every particular specific points to all the queries that has been raised. So thank you so much, and once again I wish you good luck. और मुझे लगता है कि अगली एक फिर से हम लोग एक मीटिंग करेंगे. We'll have a good get together celebrating this blockbuster chain. Very soon.
And thank you, Aditya. This might really required for us.
So over to Shelley.
Thank you so much for this detailed version and brainstorming session, which was very much required. Thank you to Mr. Sachin Kumar and Mr. Dhanraj and Ms. Meet Dwivedi. Thank you so much.
Join us with JumboChain.org.